Hey bestie, I'm back with another Dollar Tree Halloween DIY video. I have a bunch of really cool crafts, but let's cut to the chase and get right into it. If you see these bags at Dollar Tree, make sure that you pick them up. This Halloween DIY is just too cute. I ended up using a regular cereal box, and the flaps that are open, I'm just gonna grab some tape and make sure that I tape them in place so that they don't move around at all. I could have also just removed the flaps, but I just taped them in place. Now, I can paint it with regular acrylic paint, but I went ahead and spray painted it. It was just so much faster, and it's still not cold out right now, so I'm taking advantage of all the spray paint weather before it's too cold to be able to do so. For the inside, because I didn't spray paint the inside, I just used Dollar Tree poster board, cut it down to size, and slipped it right in so that you don't see the inside of the box because I am going to cut this. I put this inside of the bag, and then I'm going to hot glue it in place. Now I'm going to make sure that I do not hot glue where the mouth is, so I'm just hot gluing the top and then the back so that the box doesn't move around when I'm working with it. Now using a box cutter, an X-Acto knife, whatever you have, I cut out the box and the plastic at the same time. I did leave the flap in initially because I wanted it to be part of it, but I did end up removing it. So I pushed the box inward, and now I'm going to add a little thing to the top. I used an old Dollar Tree sign that I had never used, removed the back, and I'm painting the back because there's glitter in the front, so it's really hard to reuse these signs. Now that it's black, I used some vinyl and I just put Black Cat candy coat in the front. This part is optional. I just wanted to give it a little bit more razzle dazzle. And I'm going to hot glue this directly onto my little box setup. This is tinsel that I removed from a Dollar Tree tinsel sign, and I just put it on top to hide that. Now with these chopping mats from Dollar Tree, I like that they're kind of magnetic, so this was perfect. I grabbed it and I cut it down to the size of the mouth. So you're gonna see right here, I just kind of freehanded, and I could have done a better job at this, but it is what it is. I made sure it fit, and I don't want to paint this, so to give it color, I used Dollar Tree poster board. I grabbed the pink one, and then I just cut it down to size. And to attach them together, I hot glued just the very edges. I am going to cover up the edges anyway, but I didn't use too much glue so you wouldn't be able to see it. So put those together, make sure they fit, and with that same tinsel that I used for the top, I'm just going to use it around the tongue. You don't have to do this if you're recreating it at home, but I did want to give it a little bit of a pop, even though a tongue doesn't have black tinsel, but just go with me here. I positioned it into the mouth and made sure that I hot glued it to the back of the box so that candy can still flow through. And it is a little crooked, but that's okay. I grabbed one of these bins from Dollar Tree and I spray painted it black. Again, you don't have to spray paint, you can use acrylic paint. I am just taking advantage of the fact that it is still warm out. So I gave it a few coats, and make sure that you sand down any plastic before doing so. So that my cat is a little bit more elevated, I added a wood block. And I should have painted the block black as well, but I didn't expect to use this. And then I'm going to hot glue the cat in place. The sign does make it heavy, so you skip it if you want. I used these from Dollar Tree to put them on the side because there's still space in the bag before you get to the box. And I think that this just made it look a little bit more whimsical. Of course, you can skip it too. I added a few more of the Dollar Tree seasonal flowers and trinkets. And then I tested it out to see if it would work, if candy would slide out, and woo, it does. And because it's magnetic, it sticks. So that's pretty nice, and I love how it turned out. You have to try this Halloween DIY. Go to the picture frame section and pick up this picture frame, or any picture frame, honestly. I'm going to remove the back and remove the paper. I'm going to keep the glass on for now, and I'm going to print out a stained glass image. You can create one in Canva, you can get one from a coloring book, you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna flip this over and I'm gonna try and tape it in place so that this doesn't move. So I'm not taping the frame, I'm just taping the glass. So I'm slightly lifting up the frame and adding tape, just a little piece to the glass. Now I remove the frame and I am going to secure the rest down so this doesn't move around and get all funny. And with this 3D puff paint from Dollar Tree, I'm gonna outline it. Usually for faux stained glass, people use a product called Gallery Glass. So this is just a nice alternative option that is a little bit more affordable. And if you have a Cricut, it is a lot neater if you use Cricut to do your outline, because I'm not gonna lie, I did go very heavy-handed with this because it was a little difficult to squeeze for me. You don't accidentally smear anything, make sure you start at one end and end at the other. Don't jump from placement to placement, and make sure that you let this dry really well once you're done. A fan definitely helps. From Dollar Tree, you're going to pick up Mod Podge and food coloring, and that's what we're going to use to paint the inside of all of this. Basically, I'm taking my Mod Podge and I'm putting it on the other side so that I can go over the lines. If I do it on the side with the lines, it's gonna dry clumpy and weird, and we just don't want that. I'm gonna add Mod Podge to my little Dollar Tree palette. I'm starting with my crow first, so I'm doing sort of like a blue-black, and I am adding the tiniest hint of black acrylic paint, not too much, or it will kind of not look like stained glass at all. So I'm painting that in, and after I'm done, I'm grabbing that same color and I'm adding green to it for my cauldron. And I'm just going to keep doing that where I'm using one base color and playing around until I get more colors. So these are the two colors that I use for the cauldron and the crow or raven. It's a raven, right? And then I'm going to move on to the rest of the parts. I keep picking up my canvas so that everything is covered, as you can see it better once you pick it up. And then I'm just going to keep adding colors and going. Once you're done, it's going to look like a hot mess, and this is why I said to paint on the side where the lines are not. You're going to let this dry really well, and once it's dry, it still looks like a hot mess, but then when you flip it over, it looks so much nicer. I did use too dark of colors, so that's why it doesn't stand out as much. So I'm going to hot glue it back onto the frame because we can't put the little frame cover back on. And look at how cute this turned out. Let me know what you think. If you're into spooky, you have to try this Halloween DIY. Grab a cake pan or a pie pan from Dollar Tree. You're gonna spray paint it whatever color you want. This isn't going to be the visible part. So I spray painted mine black, and now I'm gonna take some clay. You can use a Dollar Tree clay, but I really recommend this one. You get so much more bang for your buck, and you're gonna need a lot of clay for this project. I'm gonna roll one piece out into one long piece, and then I'm gonna put it around the edges. So far, so good. We're making like a little faux pie. I remove the extra piece, and then with a pen or with my fingers, I'm gonna make basically a pie crust. I used a pen for this, it was just easier for me, and I'm gonna work my way all the way around. It doesn't have to be super defined, and if you don't wanna do the edges, that's totally fine as well. With my extra clay, once I have this in place, I'm just gonna start smushing clay in there because the bottom does not have to be neat. I was running out of this, so the texture was a little funny, and it was absolutely perfect for this. I'm pushing it up against the edges so that you don't see the separation of the crust and the filling. And now I'm gonna let this dry while I work on the top part. I'm using a different type of clay, not because I wanted to, but because I ran out of the other one. But this one isn't the fluffy air dry clay. It's a lot heavier. And honestly, I think I prefer it for this project. I'm gonna roll it out just like I would if I was making a real pie. And then we are going to shape the spookiest a little face. I made sure that it fit on top of my pie. It doesn't matter if it's a little shorter, but I just made sure that I had enough. And now I'm going to take it off and sculpt my face. I'm doing this with an X-Acto knife. I'm taking a little piece of clay and making a nose. So I'm kind of doing like a square piece. And then with my X-Acto knife, I'm making just slits. So this is super easy. And this was inspired by a ton of real pies that people make on Halloween. Like, I'm going to insert some pictures if I can. But I've been obsessed with them, and I wanted to make a fake bake so I can display it every year. I'm going to take some water and blend in, and with this tool, which is in the nail section of Dollar Tree, it helped so much with sculpting. So I highly recommend, if you do work with clay, these tools are great. I opened up the slits with my X-Acto knife and then used my finger and water to shape them how I wanted. Now I did end up with a spooky looking face, but I have seen some pies that have not so scary faces. So if you're not into spooky Halloween, then you can make like a happy little face. I feel like it looked like Celtic sun at one point, and then everyone I showed this to was completely freaked out. So if you are not into this, I am so sorry. But my last video where I made cutesy Halloween stuff, there were a ton of people that were upset at that too, so sorry. I'm gonna let this dry completely. A fan definitely helps, but I gotta be honest with you, because the clay wasn't the fluffy kind, this took like 3 days. I used this wood stain from Dollar Tree and watered down brown paint, and I'm just gonna keep layering and layering and layering browns. So I'm doing my base, which is just watered down brown paint, and then I'm grabbing that stain and tapping it into the high points as if it was a real pie that got burned. And then I'm gonna do the parts that are supposed to be red. I'm adding the browns in there too to help give it dimension. And once I have the colors how I want them, with adding all the little details, I'm gonna use a few reds to make it look like oozing cherry or blood, whatever floats your boat. So the purple really added to it. Just make sure that you add the purple while it's still wet. And we're not stopping here. I found this resin pigment at Dollar Tree and resin, but I'm not comfortable with resin, so I didn't use that. I used silicone. I added the pigment to the silicone. And let me tell you, don't add too much because this took days to cure because I added too much. It eventually did, but it did take a while. You can do it clear and it'll still give you that glossy effect as if it is like marmalade coming out. I really love how it turned out. Wear gloves for this. Dispose of everything afterwards. And this looks nice and creepy. If you've seen the Halloween pumpkin shelf sitters and have wanted to make one, let me show you how I made one using mostly Dollar Tree materials. I grabbed these pieces of wood from Dollar Tree and wood glue, and I'm going to take this as the base, this as the top, and then the long piece, of course, in the middle. So I'm going to use my wood glue and add my middle piece. Add your middle piece a little further back so that it looks like a sitting position, and then add the top piece right in the center of the wood. And this is what it should look like. It should look like a sitting position once you look at it this way. Now, you can use Dollar Tree fabric. They have beautiful prints, but your girl does not know how to sew. So I am going to use my daughter's old onesie. This is 5T. And I know it is not Dollar Tree, but I'm going to use Dollar Tree stuff to jazz it up. I'm going to remove this rhino. And I didn't do a great job at it. I only removed a portion of it before I made a hole. So I'm going to use these felt stickers from Dollar Tree and this garland, and I'm going to start going crazy decorating this. I'm using hot glue. I'm not sewing anything, and I'm just going to make this look very Halloween-y. You can skip this by just using a Halloween onesie, or you can get a Halloween costume. Maybe even a clown costume would look more authentic to the vintage shelf sitters. Totally up to you. But this is what my skill set lets me do. Some hot glue, I'm going to be sealing this shut because I'm going to be stuffing this and I don't want anything to come out. And on the original shelf sitters, they're tied together anyway. Now, make sure you stick your wood makeshift thing in and get it in the position that you want before you start stuffing, or it is going to be a little difficult to stuff. Now for the stuffing, Dollar Tree has polyfill, but they also have this stuff, which is like Christmas fake snow. And if you're gonna say, well, it's not Christmas, they don't have it, yes, they do, because Dollar Tree is insane and already has a Christmas aisle. I'm using all of the ones that I bought last year that I had out on display. This is just how I'm reusing it. I'm rolling it and using it for the arms and legs. And then for the middle, I'm gonna use polyfill. But if you don't want to spend the extra money, you can use newspaper, you can use an old pillow, you can use whatever you have in your house. You can even use Winn-Dixie bags. Just kidding, Winn-Dixie does not exist anymore. I stuffed mine really full. Some of them are a little slouchy, and then I hot glued the rest of the onesie onto that wood block, which is why I wanted that wood block there. I used 2 of these wired ribbons from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to basically make a fan shape back and forth to make a pleated look. Again, I have no sewing skills, so this is my way of making like a little pleated cuff. I'm going to take this and hot glue it onto ribbon so that it's easier for me to attach, and I made ones for the hands, feet, and around the neck. So this part is the most time-consuming part of the project. Now, before I add this, you can use this bucket from Dollar Tree, but this was a lot cheaper. It was $1.98 at Walmart. Press it in, and once it's dry, you can tie your little ribbon thing around, and this is what really makes it pop. I added them everywhere. Make sure that you're not like me and you make your ribbon long enough so you can tie it first before hot gluing. And if you want a really big look, make a second collar. And this is what really took it over the top. I love the way he looks and the fact that you can pick him up. Let me know what you think. So that's it for me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know which one is your favorite craft, what you would have done differently. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much for being here, and I will hopefully see you on the next one. Oh, and comment the word pumpkin if you want another Halloween video before the season's over.